All right, hello everybody. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out as always. So back with some more short form gameplay content. I'm going to be reviewing a game that I played a while back that I recorded. We're going to try and identify some lines that I could play differently, some decisions I could make differently, see if I make the same decisions today as I did then. But without further ado, let's take a look at this game into Ira, Scarlet Revenger, another very interesting hero. There are a couple different Ira builds floating around right now as well. There's sort of like an aggro leaning one, which is actually a little bit easier for us in my opinion. And then there's like the mid-range defensive version of Ira, which is quite difficult to navigate. So we'll see. I think we kind of have to assume they're on the defensive build, but we'll see. If they are, we kind of have to try and go aggro, which is maybe the game plan either way. So we'll see what decisions we make. We decide to go on Tunic. Stay on Tunic because Ira can be quite mid-rangey. A lot of the mainstream build is kind of more of a grindy mid-range build. So we're siding all of our aggro pieces in, but we're deciding to stay on Tunic so that we can get some value from that. So we're siding in our Beseech. We're siding in 2 of Read the Runes. We're siding in, these are our aggro pieces here, Mauvrian Skies and Revel in Runeblood. And Envelop in Darkness is a great, so we are going first, which increases the impact of Read the Runes. But Envelop in Darkness, since we're on Tunic, is also a fine choice here. With Revel, we're deciding to go into Oblivion. We're playing 1 Envelop. Nope, we decided we're going 3 Envelop and 1 Read the Runes. I like that. Okay, so we start the turn on Envelop. I love to see this Runeblood Incantation. Great setup piece on turn 0. So we're going to stuff this Envelop in Darkness and Arsenal for when Tunic is at 3. We're going to set up this Runeblood Incantation and bank this Widespread Ruin in Banish. So pretty straightforward. Just going to pause. Looking at this hand, we want to play this Malefic Incantation out. Eloquent Eulogies are only banished targets. So we want to play Banish Eloquent Eulogy. The Malefic Incantation is like a nice bonus. With Malefic, we can go Ruin, like Machinations, Malefic, Ruin, Eloquent Eulogy. So we can go 2 wide here, essentially. Envelop is just going to stay. And like Dirge is a great just bonus if we're able to take a bunch of damage here, but we'll see. Got to play around Mask after all, so... Kodachi for 1, Kodachi for 2. I think, we could... It's an interesting choice. We could block the Harmonized Kodachi for 2 here, thinking that maybe they're only going to do 1 more thing, and this might keep them off Mask, but it'll be interesting. So I am deciding to do that. The Deadwood Dirge is just kind of like an extra piece. It's nice, but here to kind of make it a little bit more awkward for them to play around and get their Mask trigger. I don't mind that decision. Bearing Thorns we're just going to have to take, I believe. Unless we want to give up Machinations and just do 1 thing on our turn, which is sort of also fine. Looks like we decided that. So we're giving Machinations and Bloodied Oval to cover this up. They're coming in for another 7, I have to assume. Nope, 5 draw, so they want to stay end on an Arsenal. We snap take that. So this is fine. I don't mind this. So we don't need to go too wide there. We prevented some damage, prevented their game plan a little bit. So now we're just going to play Malefic Incantation, Widespread Ruin, and we're going to end the turn on 2 chance and with a banked Eloquent Eulogy in our Banish Zone. Sorry, end on 1 chant, but we'll make a second one at the beginning of our next turn. So we'll see what they do. They took all of the Arcane. They are on AB1 with Tide Flippers, so they have an option to block that Arcane. They just chose not to. Opponent's taking a little bit of time to decide here, so we'll do a little fast forwarding. Okay, letting the Widespread Ruin resolve. Blocking for 2. They might have a bit of an awkward hand. Covering up the rest here at the sink below. They did sink a card. So filtering a little bit. They must have had an awkward hand. And they banished a blue card off top. Sound the Alarm. They get to look at our hand. We don't have any reactions. I think that's what Sound the Alarm looks for. So they don't get to strip, or I don't know what it does. When this attacks, reveal their hand if an attack reaction is revealed this way. Search your deck. So they weren't able to do that. We don't have any attack reactions. We're not on pummel. So in this hand, we're going to start the turn on 2. Well, we have 1. Incant's going to make us another one, and our Banish from Vynnset's going to make another one. So we're going to start on 3, pardon me. So Deathly Whale's great here. We could even banish Call, play Call, strip a card from their hand, play Deathly Whale sort of thing. I really want to play out this Malefic Incantation as well, and we don't actually need the Envelop. However, it's free on Tunic next turn, and I might be tempted to play it to guarantee 2 enchant production off of Whale when we close the chain. But I might also just want to sit on it, so we'll see what we decide to do here. But this Widespread Destruction is not doing anything in this hand anyways, so we're deciding to give that up, go to 30, and move on. So we'll see if we decide to banish the Call. The Call is an insanely impactful card, and it's something I'm learning to play with a little bit better. So we keep the Call in hand as sort of like a surprise. Yeah, I like that, because if we banish the Call, then it's face up. So here we're keeping it as a surprise. Looks like I am choosing to play the Envelop in Darkness just to guarantee 2 rune chance when we close the chain. We are going to get 4 rune chance, in fact, 2 with Malefic and 2 from Deathly Whale. So now we're playing this Whale for 3, 4. 1 extra 1 from Envelop. So 4, 1 Unpreventable, and 8. Oh, they're just undoing something, which is fine. So we're going to present this once again. So 4, 1 Unpreventable, and 8. We'll fast forward through the rune chance. Looks like they took 1. A-B'd the other 3. Now there's 8 here. We can call at any time. So I wonder if we just call. This is the timing for call is something I'm still like working out. I'm getting a little bit better with it, but I'm still struggling with knowing exactly when the timing for that is best. So we let them filter. They didn't actually filter, but now we're going to ask them to banish a card from hand. We don't need to break the chain. We can follow this up with Eloquent Eulogy and we'll still end. Interesting. So we chose not to swing Eloquent Eulogy there. Maybe, like, the thing about Ira, and I don't know if this is correct or not. The thing about Ira is you're trying to set up wide turns. There we had an opportunity to go 2 wide, but I kind of decided that another 2 and 4 was not really worth it. I don't know if that's correct. I feel like I should have swung the Eloquent Eulogy to come in for another 2 and 4. When I close the chain, I'm going to end on an Eloquence token, and I'm going to end on 2 rune chance. So I chose instead to end on 4 rune chance and float this extra 4 damage to another turn. I'm not sure what's correct. In this hand, I think all I want to keep is the Whale, and I'm willing to give up everything else, essentially. They're going to go Kadachi. So I'll take the 1. We're going to block the second one, hopefully. So we have too many cards we can't do anything with. Blocking the second one. Good choice. We have another 6 we can cover up, so even if they come in with something scary, like a Take the Tempo, going to give them the Yellow Whale and the Eloquent Eulogy. Move on with our lives. Banish this. Come in for 6 and 6. Or is it 5 and 6? I can't remember where. Oh, yeah, it's going to be 6 and 6. So coming in for 6 and 6, pretty good. This is where we want to see Deadwood Dirge, where we get full value by targeting an empty Runeblood incantation. But 6 and 6 is still pretty good. We continue to float 4 damage over to a future turn. Which again, I still think it would have been better. We would have been better off swinging that when they had 2 cards in hand on the last turn, but that's fine. So they're going to take another 3 down to 23. Pretty close game so far. Good back and forth. We're drawing into all of our Deathly Whales. It's a little bit awkward, this clumping. But once again, the only thing I care about keeping is one of the Deathly Whales. We only have... Do we have 1 rune chant or 2 rune chants banked? Choosing to block this out with 2 cards. I want to keep this Beseech the Demagon as well, because Beseech Whale, like any shadow card plus Whale is just good value. We're going to take this other 1, and then we'll see what they end the turn on. Arsenal. Oh, we do have 2 rune chants banked. That's great. Because, yeah, 1 from Malefic, 1 from production from Whale. So now we get to go 3, 1 Unpreventable, and 9, and guarantee another 2 chance. But now Eloquent Eulogy has stagnated for 3 turns. This further confirms that I should have played this out. because now we're losing more and more value on it. It's hard to evaluate because like stacking damage, like coming in with one really big turn, which like we haven't really drawn into the hand that facilitates that like 2 wide or 3 wide potential yet, or in a little while. So I should have taken advantage of that like 2 wide potential on that one turn, but that's why we're reviewing this. So we're learning. So that's one thing I would have done differently for sure. So we're taking some more damage. They're going to 18. We are on 3 chance to end the turn. Love this for us. So we don't have any more rune chant generation like Malefic or anything like that, but banishing Widespread Annihilation, going like Mauve Annihilation, and then like read the runes or something, so we can like give up this Deathly Delight. But again, we gotta play safe, navigate this, and like play around Mask of Momentum. So we'll let the first Kodachi hit, let the second Kodachi hit, and then the third attack is what we're gonna be careful about. So hopefully it's another take the tempo. So yeah, I mean, like read the runes is an unfortunate casualty, but I think it's just like we have to sort of, we don't want to let them block. So I'm actually deciding to favor ending on rune chants since they don't seem to be like that interested in blocking. And we're giving up face perk for not great value, but that's sort of fine. So we're covering it up. We have to cover it up no matter what. We don't want them to draw another card, even though it didn't have go again. I don't know. So Mob Sky's Annihilation into Read the Runes is still pretty good. Eulogy is still stuck, so that's not lost on me. Yeah, a little awkward. We should have played that out, but it is what it is. I'm not sure. I guess the only decision, like the reason I decided to keep it was that I was like worried about building big turns into Ira, which is fair. Like these control style builds, you do need to sort of treat it more like a Guardian or something like that, where, you know, you're trying to build up big turns, but it might have just not been necessary. So, I mean, Widespread Annihilation just kind of reads give me your hand anyways, because they don't want to like lose value by having to banish one. So now we end on 3 rune chants, which is great. And now we'll see if they respect Succumb. We have another Annihilation, so we're 4 chance Annihilation with a Malefic Incantation is great. This Widespread Rune's not really doing much. The hope here is that like 4 rune chants is sort of like the break point of rune chants, because they'd have to pitch 2 cards to prevent it if they're off of Tunic, which they are. So I'm hoping they just block 3, let 1 rune chant hit, which turns Succumb online. However, since it's Malefic, they're more likely to just give me their hand. So we'll see what they decide to do. Chances are they'll give us their hand, so they'll just pitch another one here if they know what's up. And to give us 2 on Widespread Annihilation, calling it a day. Unless... no, I think that's just the play, but we'll see what they decide to do. They're definitely thinking about it. Yeah, so they respect the Annihilation. Well, that's fine. We'll sit on the Succumb. They gave us their Mask, which is great. They really wanted to keep those cards. Interesting. Okay, so they cover that up. That's fine. We're reflecting on our life decisions. We're just going to sit on the Succumb for a future turn. Move on with our lives. Kodachi, we just take. On this turn, we're still stuck on that same Eloquent Eulogy, by the way. On this turn, like we're finally, I think, going to get rid of the Eloquent Eulogy. So we're going to block this Kodachi to try it. Well, they don't have Mask anymore. Why are we blocking Kodachi? I think I forgot that they were off Mask, because second Kodachi is not the target here. We have to assume they're coming in for something bigger after. So that was a bit of a mess up. We don't block Kodachi. We don't care. We're not playing around Mask anymore. So instead of blocking Kodachi, we save it for their big thing. So here, Spinning Wheel Kick hits, which is fine. Banish Ruin. Play Malefic. Actually, I feel like we don't play Malefic, because we know what's going to happen this turn. We're going to play Beseech. We're going to take the damage to Vynnset. We're going to play Widespread Ruin. Then we're going to play Succumb no matter what they do. Even if they block it out, we play Succumb, regain our action point. Then I think what we do is break the chain, play Malefic, then play Eloquent Eulogy or whatever we hit off top. because then we'll end on a rune chant, or it's a way to end on a rune chant rather than bottoming out, which I think is always the play. We do still have Vexing Quillhand, so we're not that worried about it, but I do think that's more efficient. I guess this allows us to lead with Eulogy, makes it a little more awkward because they're less likely to respect Eulogy, like kind of give us a 3 if they don't have a D react, for example. So I don't hate that, but I still think like ending on a rune chant might have been better here. And this is more telegraphed as well. So we're gonna play Succumb. We have to assume they have a D react. Yep, Fate Foreseen. So yeah, I think this was wrong. I think I would have this time would have done Ruin first, then like Beseech Ruin, Succumb, Closed Chain Malefic, Eulogy, to end on a rune chant. But it is what it is. This is also fine. So yeah, 2 opportunities to tighten up this game, and we'll see how it turns out. Like, it's not looking amazing. It's not lost, but it's not looking amazing for us right now. But I feel like those... So they pitched to block those rune chants, by the way. Now they're dealing with 9. And so they're going to take 4 down to 12. Succumb hits. That's fine. We banish a call, which is awesome. But now, awkward. We don't draw into a good banished target. So this is really not good for us. Even our decisions last turn wouldn't have saved us. Like here, we just have to banish this Machinations. We're playing out another Malefic. It eats the Eloquence, which is fine. And we're going to sit on this Shadow Puppetry. Now we draw into a Runegate card, but they have a full grip here. So we'll see what they're able to do. Kodachi for 1. We have Call. So what do we could call the Dirge away, I guess, or call the Delight, but then we'd have to banish the Dirge. I think the Dirge is the most disposable card in this hand, but Kodachi for 2 we take. See what else they do. CNC for 6. We have Shadow Puppetry in... So we're choosing to block this out with a Succumb and a Dirge. So we're choosing to hold on to the Cull, which is interesting. So that's what I don't know. Like if we play out the Cull, I guess we want to preserve the Shadow Puppetry for some reason. It is decent value. So yeah, we're choosing to block this. I don't hate that. Interesting. I don't know. So banishing Delight, we can Beseech Delight. I think Beseech Delight is best. So Beseech, take the damage to Vynnset since it's free. Deathly Delight's going to gain it back for us anyways. And we still get to threaten Cull here, which I don't hate. So this is fine. So 2 and 8, 1 unpreventable. And we're going to end on 2 chance, which is great. Like, we're still in decent shape. We're at 5, so we're not super comfortable, but we are still able to threaten enough here. So they took the 2 chance to assume they're going to give us some cards here. They're choosing to be pretty aggro, so I don't know if they're on an aggro-leaning list. We haven't really clocked that, but they do still have a lot of D-reacts, so I don't know. So they're going to take 1 here. We're going to call them. We're not going to pay the life this time. So we're going to lose a card from hand. They might have been playing around it, so... They snap, get rid of Spinning Wheel Kick. We gain 2 life, back up to 7. And we draw into, once again, we only have 1 choice here in Eloquent Eulogy as a banished target. With Tunic and Envelop, I do like that. I do really like Envelop in Darkness. We have some extra Go Again stuff. We don't really need either of these Go Again cards, honestly. Take the Tempo is annoying. So I think we give up this Shadow Puppetry because we don't really need it. Take 3 down to 3. I really don't want to give up the Eulogy or the Darkness. They're at a lower life total where most of what we are threatening is threatening enough. But yeah, so we're going to come in for 4, 1 unpreventable, and 7 is pretty good. It's 11 damage when they're at 9. So 4 and 7 ending on 2 rune chants. They're taking their tunic resource. So 2 malefics. So they're going to prevent the first one with tunic. They're going to give us a blue, I have to assume, for the rest. No, maybe they had a red heavy hand. So they go to 6. Now we're presenting 7. They give us 4, taking 3 down to 3. Interesting. So now Kodachi for 1. Let's just evaluate this hand. So we're on 2 rune chants. We have Phantom Wraith as a banished target here. We could honestly give everything and call. I think we want to call them here. So I think if it were me playing this again, I would take the Kodachi and then call right away. And maybe call the Revel. It's a little too late for Revel, but Revel could win us the game with Shadow Puppetry, but we're not going to be able to keep enough cards in hand when we're at 3. So I think we take the Kodachi and then call, hoping they don't expect the call. So take the Kodachi down to 2. I think we needed to call there. So dual threat. Oh, call now. Call now. Please call now. If we call now, it shuts. I mean, all they can do is Kodachi. Call. Do it. Call them. Yeah, call is a tricky card, honestly, to know the timing when to play it. But we definitely need to call. Please call. So we're thinking, obviously. Yeah, there we go. All right. So we're going to generate an action point on their turn, which is awesome. It actually doesn't matter. So no, we're not going to pay the life. We're going to strip that card. We're going to give up Revel and Runeblood because it doesn't do anything in this hand. Go ahead. We're just thinking long and hard about this. It doesn't really matter. Like, even if we banish the Phantom Wraith, that's fine. We're just going to banish the Revel at the beginning of our next turn. Now they present Kodachi. Yeah, I mean, we have to. Unless we get really greedy, we give them Tunic and go to 1, but no. So now, banish that target. We present 3 and 6, which is awkward for them. We still get to generate a rune chant, end the turn on a rune chant, which is good. Close game. It didn't need to be this close. Again, there are 2 turns where we could have tightened our gameplay up a little bit. And kind of would have gotten us a little further along. We'll see what kind of blocks they drew into. They did draw into 2-3 blocks. We'll see if they do anything on their turn, though. Kodachi. So we'll give... we'll have to give up another card, though. But Revel and Runeblood might win us the game here. So now we're going to give up Widespread Destruction. On our turn... How many rune chants do we have? 1? So this will be 2. We have to break Vex and Quillhand. We go Shadow Puppetry, Annihilation. Don't take the damage. So this is 4 and 6 followed up by 4 and 1. Should be enough. So we'll see. They should just give us their hand here, and then we'll be able to kill them with the 4 and 1. So it's a really, really close game. And Ira is a very, very good hero. It is often very close, which is all the more reason that we need to like really play tight. So again, there was definitely some opportunity to tighten up our gameplay on our end. And hopefully, like, talking through this stuff, I find it quite helpful. It allows me to sort of like digest some of these things and take my own advice. So they blocked 3 rune chants. I have to assume they're going to go to... No, so they have a perfect D-react to 7. We break the chain, strip that card. Revel. I don't know if they were playing... Obviously, they weren't playing around Annihilation, but it wouldn't have mattered. So there you go. GG's to our opponent. It was very well played. Again, tough one. And we got there, thankfully. But opportunity to tighten that up quite a bit. But anyways, I hope you learned something there. Again, I think I did. This is helpful for me to digest some of these lines and things like that. So thanks as always for watching. I have one more sort of short form gameplay review from another game that I recorded quite some time ago. So that'll be posting on the channel shortly. Subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate the support. So thank you guys so much as always. We will chat real soon, everybody. Cheers.